Hello and welcome into the Sorare Spotlight. I am Andrew Laird, joined today by a very special guest, Jon Scalchunes from Sorare, to talk about the big news today, Sorare and Solana. Jon, thanks for coming on to answer some questions that I'm sure lots of people will have, including me, because I have no idea what this all means. And so, yeah, thanks for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Laird. I'm excited to chat through this. I know that people probably have many a question and aren't necessarily saying, what does a migration mean for them and what does it mean for Sorare as a whole? And I'm here to answer all those questions and any other questions that you guys may have. So I like to consider myself a crypto native and a Solana. I guess they call it maxi.
You're
That's what
Maxi.
I
All
do.
right, let's
Yeah,
go.
that's what they say. So I like to think that these past 2.5 years have taught me the ins and outs of Solana and obviously the ins and outs of Sorare. And now I'm here to combine my two expertises together and give you guys a good rundown.
For those of you who, or for those who are watching who have no idea who you are, can you just tell us quickly who you are?
100%, yes. So I am Jon. I also goes by Scales Sorare. I joined Sorare almost 3 years ago. We're approaching my 3-year mark, so it's been a whirlwind. It's been a long time, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been really great. I work on the U.S. side of things, so that's basketball, NBA, and MLB. I started as a community manager. Now I'm sort of leading marketing, I guess, on the US side, so for NBA and MLB. And a big part of my job over the past few months has been this migration for Solana, working the ins and outs, writing that blog that you guys just saw, getting in touch with the Solana team, making sure everything's aligned, and yeah, that's why I'm here. They thought I would be able to answer some questions and wouldn't get too technical like some of our engineers would, and you guys would just be like, what does that mean at all? But yeah, I think we're in for a good treat for the next hour or so.
Yeah, so the way that we're going to do this in JPS, thanks everyone for coming in. But and I think Hatlingan kind of summarizes a lot of this. No idea what this means, but cool, I guess. And JPS explained this to me like I'm Laird, which is very helpful because that's basically what we're going to go through. But obviously, Sorare have been using Ethereum since launch, and I remember kind of when I joined, Ethereum was obviously a very big deal for the fact that everything was on the blockchain, and Ethereum specifically was kind of referenced as a positive of the blockchain that they were using. I think we've seen blockchain kind of evolve over the last half a decade or so, but was this move kind of because there were limitations to Ethereum, or is it just that Solana has more flexibility and advantages that it was worth going that route?
Yeah, so I think that we knew we wanted to leave. We were just looking for the best path forward and what will launch us into bringing uh, on-chain sports mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
and we decided upon Solana. And I was very much in Nico's ear and everyone's ear saying like, "Oh, you got to go Solana, you got to go Solana, you got to go Solana." So I'm glad it ended up working out this way. But I think the biggest reason that we moved to Solana is the transparency. So previously we were on StarkEx, which is a private rollup, an L2 of Ethereum.
Yep.
So essentially, you're still on the Ethereum chain. They just kind of created their own fork in it, and it's a little cheaper to do transactions, but it's private. So that what that means is you are not really able to follow your transactions. You're not able to outsource your wallet to things like Phantom. You have to create a Sorare wallet. As we all know, everyone has their Sorare wallet, which is great. And that's like a really great aspect for non-crypto natives. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to sign up on Sorare, you don't want to have to create your own wallet and have this experience of like, oh, what is this? What does that mean? So I think moving towards Solana, we're looking to capture the crypto audience, but also improve our game as a whole. So I think Solana was the obvious choice when we really laid it out like that. They're the fastest. They transactions per second is absolutely insane. I don't even know the number. They could do a lot of transactions, and it's extremely cheap. I think like we're moving all of our NFTs over to Solana, and it's like hundreds of thousands of NFTs, millions, maybe, and it
Yeah.
only costs like $5,000 to move
Mhm.
all of them over. So it's like the price for actually this migration is extremely cheap, and it's just hits all the boxes, I think. And lastly, Solana has really been in the news lately as one of the most public-facing blockchains in existence right now. I think. I mean, politics aside, the president of the United States launched a coin on Solana and it brought it really mainstream. And I think that we want to work on a chain that can kind of bridge the gap between the crypto audience and the mainstream audience. And I think that's how Solana looks at us as well, as we're trying to bridge the gap of the crypto audience and the mainstream audience. So I think like we both have the same goal and they're very apt to work with us. And once we heard that they're super excited for us, we're just like, it's obvious that this is the decision we got to go. The tech aspects are all there. It's all cheap. It's all fast. The transparency aspect is there. You could use your own wallet now. Shortly, you could, if you wanted to, you could take your Solana Sorare cards off of Sorare onto your public wallet. Try to sell them on OpenSea, something like that. Another Solana type marketplace. So we really just wanted to really focus on the tech aspects, focus on the transparency aspect, and give our managers more possibilities and more access to things. And lastly, we wanted to try to focus on the crypto aspect, which is getting a new class of crypto natives into our product. And I think Solana was a great way of doing that.
Yeah, I remember basically when I joined, it was before they even started the StarkEx layer 2 stuff. And there was a lot of talk about basically how expensive it was for Sorare, because Sorare covered all the gas fees whenever we did any sort of transactions. And so that got expensive. And it also took a while. And so anyone who joined the platform within the last 2 or 3 years doesn't appreciate that we used to like trade cards, and it would sometimes take up to 12 hours for your card to show up. And it was just the thought that it was like, oh no, you just got to wait till gas fees are a little cheaper. And it was like, all right, I guess. And then when the layer 2 stuff came, that was obviously a huge deal because everything could just move a lot faster. It was obviously cheaper for Sorare as well. And so, just moving in that same direction of, we just want it to be cheaper and faster to be able to run all this stuff. And it allows some more flexibility in terms of what can be done with our NFTs at this point, which we'll get into in a little bit. But the one thing I wanted to touch on at first, we're leaving the Ethereum blockchain for Solana. Can we still win and pay with Ethereum?
Yeah, 100%. So we are not limiting the payment experience at all. If anything, we're doing the total opposite. We are expanding it. So all Ethereum transactions will be going through Base right now, which is Coinbase's own chain. And it is an L2 of Ethereum as well. And so if you are an Ethereum maxi, you don't want to pay with Solana, you don't want to do anything like that, this does not impact you at all. You still have the ability to pay with Ethereum. If what it does do is allow users to also deposit Solana and pay with Solana. And we will I know this then leads to I think people are probably thinking like, well, this is going to make the marketplace even more fragmented when you have people trying to pay with Solana and Ethereum, and then there's cash wallet only.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that. We are going to act as like the back end, and we're going to swap Solana and Ethereum purchases ourselves. So you guys don't have to worry about having to look for ETH only or Sol only cards on the marketplace. So we're trying to make it as seamless as possible. So it's still only cash wallet versus crypto wallet and taking crypto payments. And the only difference is you get to use Solana now. And I think down the line, we'll continue to add different currencies, whether it's stable coins like USDC, things along that nature. We just want to be able to open up the doors for crypto natives and offer them whatever they want to pay in, whether it's Solana, Ethereum, maybe Bitcoin at some point, something like that. So the possibilities are almost endless.
It feels like Sorare has kind of moved away from crypto over the last couple of years. Like obviously the introduction of the fiat wallets kind of opened up a whole new customer base who really wasn't crypto. I don't even want to call them crypto native, but let's just call them like crypto comfortable. And this obviously seems to be kind of moving back to be like, oh no, we do want to get all of these. I don't want to use the term crypto bros, so I won't. But all of these crypto people, like, what's the thought process of like targeting people who are more comfortable with crypto again?
Yeah, I think that honestly, like when we were moving towards a non-crypto facing product, there was a lot of uncertainty around crypto, and it was almost taboo to talk about NFTs
Sure.
and crypto at that time. And as cycles and markets change, so does people's beliefs on crypto and on the blockchains as a whole. So I think as people started coming back around, as governments started heavily investing into crypto and people's eyes started opening, like, oh wow, this isn't just a fad, this really is going to be here forever.
Sure.
We were like, well, we could go back to our roots, the thing that we started with and the thing that we love, and we don't have to be ashamed of, honestly, that we can actually put towards the front of our product. And I think that's what this focus has sort of been on over the past 6 months, is this just generally people's um, feelings towards crypto has switched to a positive now, or net neutral, when previously it was, if it was net neutral, it was either that or negative. So
Sure.
I'm very happy that people's minds have changed on this, because this is a passion of mine. And I think everyone internally at the company is also like big crypto guys. So I think that we're all happy that we're able to go back to our main core.
I just want to clarify here because I think the answer here is actually no. But Jesse
Yeah.
said, will we be able to buy Ether, Solana only cards with cash now too if you're handling those transactions on the back end? From what I understood from you, uh, we're going to continue to have like crypto and fiat wallets, and so if somebody is crypto only, theoretically you could pay in Solana or Ethereum and not the cash.
Yes. Exactly. We aren't doing cash. And like if you want to buy a card and they only want Solana, you can't pay for it in cash right
Right.
now. But if they want Solana and you can only have Ethereum, that is totally fine. We will settle that on our end.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Patago said, "Can you explain what this move means in Sorare SO5 terms? Um, Meaning like
Yeah.
gameplay."
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm not the biggest soccer guy, so I can't really get into the depths of the gameplay, but nothing, nothing. It really
Yeah.
doesn't change anything from a gameplay point of view. Like that's why I'm able to come up here and talk about it in front of the soccer audience. You guys are pretty much unscathed with any of the migration aspects. It only opens up more doors for you, more currencies to pay for, more wallets to be able. I mean, to use more marketplaces if you choose to outsource your cards to and sell them there. So if anything, it just opens possibilities, doesn't impact gameplay literally at all. Um, yeah, that's it. There's nothing, no changes on a gameplay point of view.
And this applies here. Durba said, if I prefer to keep ETH, I can do it. You can do it. It's just now that the ETH moves based on the base network instead of StarkEx.
Yeah, exactly. So again, nothing will change from your point of view. It's just like what's happening on the backside. We are not routing these payments through StarkNet anymore. It's all going through Base. So your Ethereum payments and your Ethereum is safe, and you don't have to worry about that going away anytime. So all those ETH maxis out there, you're still unscathed. Like we said, we really wanted to make sure that this migration didn't impact anyone negatively. It was only a positive for all of our users and managers, and I really think that we accomplished that by working with Base to keep Ethereum payments working, working with Solana to move to their actual protocol, and then having their native coin as a payment option. So everyone still has the option to do whatever they want, which is lovely.
And just so we're very clear about this, you will not be able to buy like Solana on Sorare. So like
No.
if there's a card that you want to buy that's like Solana or crypto only, you're like, oh, I have to get Solana. Like you have to leave Sorare to do that.
Yeah, we are not uh, we're not like a Sex or Dex or anything
Right.
like that. We don't want to become an exchange. But with like the addition of things like Phantom as like a secondary wallet that you're able to connect to and not have to make a Sorare wallet, this opens up the possibility to buy Solana very easily. And then you connect that wallet, and within 5 minutes, you have all the Solana or Ethereum that you could want, and you're able to connect it right to Sorare. So it really does take the hassle out of it. Obviously, it would be in a perfect world. We are an exchange, and you buy everything right on Sorare, and you never have to leave the Sorare platform. I mean, that's like our dream, but I
Mhm.
don't think that's a reality at the current grandeur. And I think this is the best we're pretty much going to get for what we want right now.
So there's the blog that John wrote is linked in the description of the YouTube video. So I highly recommend anyone or everyone to check that out. What I want there's a section here that I feel like is going to get the most attention, and so I just want to bring it up here. I'll just read it first. It says, "In the long term, we're exploring every opportunity in front of us, forging partnerships with other communities, unlocking new forms of gameplay and utility, and possibly bold and italics." Expanding our own ecosystem powered by a Sorare token.
I knew someone was going to ask it, but I didn't think it was going to be you, Laird. Oh my gosh.
I'm only asking it because like 8 people within 3 minutes of the blog going out was like, wait a minute, what's this? I'm going to do a classic content creator thing here too. Let's wait on the Sorare token part. This forging partnerships with other communities and then like unlocking new forms of gameplay and utility. Like, what do you guys envision with those two things? Is it literally other like third-party companies creating games using our cards and being able to have those cards on their platform somehow? Or what do you guys think when you think about that stuff?
I think 100% to your first point. That is I think that's awesome. And I know we've talked about in the past having like a Shark Tank type thing for Sorare where people come on and pitch their Sorare mini games or whatever it may be, their whatever Sorare adjacent ideas they have. And
Yeah.
I think Solana does make this easier for us as well. It's a build. They call it Solana's for builders. So when people come on, it's just like they want people to build on their network, and we at Sorare we want people to build on our game as well. We want it to be like our API is pretty much open, and we want people to be able to make a game off our open source API. And I think Solana makes it a little bit easier to do that because, like I said, StarkNet was a private roll up and it was a little less transparent. And now with Solana, where it's cheaper, faster, more intuitive, I think it makes it way easier for builders and for us alike. Also, I think this opens up the doors for partnerships with big companies in the crypto space. I'm not like saying this is what we're doing. This isn't like any
Sure.
alpha that's coming, but like, for example, I keep mentioning wallets. Like Phantom is one of the biggest wallets in the world right now. It's MetaMask and Phantom. They're pretty much neck and neck. And Phantom started as a Solana wallet. They also take Ethereum. I think like possible partnerships with businesses like this is very much in our interest, and I think it's also in their interest as well. We are in the unique situation where we have a community on like a crypto community that's built up of non-crypto natives, which is very interesting, and we kind of have the ability to crack into the mainstream. It's just sports, and our IP just speaks to people, and it's really a beautiful thing. So I think that Phantom has access to these crypto people, and we have access to people that aren't really crypto natives. There's a lot of mutually beneficial synergy there. So I think like companies like that, we love to work with, whether it's like deposit promos if you use a Phantom app and we're plastered on their wallet. These are all just examples. Please take them
Sure.
with a grain of salt right now. But I think that's one way we're thinking about it. And then there's also something else I think you mentioned on it was partnerships. Oh, gameplay. We do have a few tricks up our sleeve. So we have some exciting things coming towards the end of the month, maybe beginning of November. I think the way that we're looking at this migration is we want the first beginning of October to be for our community and reassure them that nothing is changing. You guys are not going to be impacted at all. And then towards the end of October when we're actually migrating, then we do a big push for crypto natives and work with Solana, work with people like that to help get our name out there and try to target these crypto natives, like I keep saying. And then alongside with that, we wanted to kind of spice things up a little bit. So we hinted at some new gameplay, and I think that you can keep your eye out for that.
Do you guys anticipate there being like much of a card marketplace off of Sorare because of these wallets?
No, well, yeah, we don't want to limit anyone. So it's like,
Yeah.
so there's obviously the possibility that you can do it, and like it always, like another possibility is even selling cards on something like OpenSea or Magic Eden,
Right.
where this is like another partnership opportunity where they are able to plaster us on their homepage where they get hundreds of thousands of views per day, and we're able to attract new managers through the likes of OpenSea and Magic Eden. So I think it's more so we have the ability to, if we wanted to, try to sell cards there, and you guys have the same ability. So it's up to if you want to or if you don't want to. The thing is, like now that we're allowing wallets and third-party wallets, it's not all Sorare wallets. It kind of makes it way easier if all of your tokens are on your wallet already. You just connect it to the marketplace and they all populate already. And if you wanted to, you could sell them there. So it really makes it seamless using a new wallet. And I want to make sure everyone is aware you don't have to change to a new wallet. If you want to stay on a Sorare wallet, you like the security of it, you like not having to hassle with crypto or anything like that, same thing. You're still good. You could still use a Sorare wallet. We're just, again, adding opportunities for other people if they wanted to outsource their wallet to a third party.
Yeah, I think honestly, like for everyone who has played Sorare almost exclusively with a fiat wallet, I don't think you'd see any difference at all. I mean, maybe you see something where you go to try to buy a card, although I guess right now it'll be the same, that it'll be if there's like a card that's on the market that's crypto only, like you're kind of in the same position anyway as you are right now. So really not very little is changing in that respect. One of the things you guys mentioned in the blog is like if you have Ethereum, it's now on Base. Did you guys consider using Base as the network instead of Solana, or is that like a
Um, I don't know if I should answer that or no.
okay?
I'm just like thinking. I'm thinking like I don't know if I should. I
Well, I
think
guess
it's fine
the
to
real
probably
question
answer
was like
that.
you guys must have looked at other chains and figured out what you
Yeah,
thought was the best one, and obviously Solana is the one that you guys thought was the most advantageous for you.
yeah. Can you hear me still? I think
I can
I'm
hear you. Yeah,
frozen right now. Okay, great. Sorry, my Wi-Fi's cutting out.
yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, so yeah, we definitely explored all opportunities that were put in front of us. We didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves into just having Solana as the only backup, even though that's what I wanted the whole time, if
Yeah,
I'm being frank. Um, but yeah, like I think it would be a safe guess that we looked at Base and we looked at other opportunities. It's not like we wanted to 100% change off of Ethereum. I think this is just what how the cards fell, and I think they just had everything that we were looking for, which is it's too good to pass up on.
yeah. There was a comment earlier in the in the chat here. I was trying to find it, but somebody also just sent me a separate one that was like, and again, I'm not I'm not familiar at all. I don't even want to call it super familiar, but I guess Solana's had some like downtime issues over the last, I don't even know what the time frame is, but like was that a concern for you guys, or will that affect us at all?
Yeah, I don't remember the last time that they've had an outage.
Okay.
It happened a few times, like when I first joined crypto Twitter, and actually probably like second year into crypto Twitter. That's when everyone was kind of piling on Solana. The FTX things happened. There's outages, so it was kind of just like a snowball effect per se, where
Sure.
people were just dogpiling. I don't remember the last time Solana is out an outage. Watch it happen right after this. No, just kidding. But I don't think that should be a worry. I think that they know what they're doing, and they've been pretty much, I don't know, top one chain in terms of like crypto mind share for a reason. And I think if they were having constant outages, that people wouldn't stand for that. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Obviously, you could keep it in the back of your mind. And if that ever were to happen, God forbid, I don't think it will. Obviously, comms will be out and people will be
Sure.
made aware, and everything will uh, will make sure that everything's okay. But I really don't foresee that happening anytime soon.
I don't want to go into the crypto weeds too much because I probably won't even understand them. But you described yourself as kind of like a Solana maxi here, and so like, what is it? You mentioned kind of the transparency of it versus a layer two solution that the StarkNet that we've been using. Like, what's so great about Solana? I'll put it that way.
That's a great question. What is so great about Solana? I think that, oh man, I had such like a good brief for Nico that I gave him. I'm trying to remember what spiel I said. I think that honestly, Solana is a good place for us because we are building for the public and we're building for mass eyes on us. And I think they have the same exact goals as us. They, like I said, their motto is like something about builders on Solana, like that's us, and they want people to be building on their chain. And they're really, I think, leaning into all of the builders on their chain and offering them help, whether it's they just quote tweeted our tweet, they are giving us more publicity through this, and I think they're constantly willing to do things like this for us. So I think that they were just more apt to help out, and they were very willing to be there for us. And I think that really means something for us, that you have a chain or this huge chain, this huge protocol that is willing to work with Sorare and make sure that everything that we need is taken care of, whether that's amplification or if we have an issue, something like that, God forbid. Personally, I like Solana because I I'm a trader at heart. Like I like to trade, and I think it's just like cheap transaction fees are the gold standard for trading at this point. If you're doing
Sure.
300 transactions an hour, if you did that on Ethereum, that's going to cost you like 1,500 plus or whatever. On Solana, it costs you like $5. So I think there's like a really vast difference between the prices that these transactions cost, and that really piqued my interest. And if you're building a game that has tons of transactions, it's a and it's on chain, like it's a pain in the butt to have to pay large amounts for or large sums for these transactions that are taking a while. So you want to focus on a place that could do it fast and cheap, just
Mhm.
like Solana.
So did this come about because you guys were looking for like to get off of Ethereum, or was it, hey, this is like maybe we should consider going to Solana? Like what kind of sparked this move from the beginning? Was it we need to solve a problem, or is it like, oh, actually we just found something that would actually just be better for us?
Yeah, I don't know if it was like solving a problem. I mean, I think that honestly, Starknet wasn't very they weren't very like crypto. They didn't have a lot of crypto mindshare. Not many people actually know who they are. They might know that they're an L2 of Ethereum, but they don't really use them that much. Starknet had their airdrop, and it really didn't pick up steam or anything like that. And I think we were trying to focus on capturing the attention of crypto natives at this point in time,
Mhm.
and really leaning into like this our core, which was crypto. And I think they were trying to find a brand that had more name recognition and more crypto mindshare than someone like Starknet. So whether that was Base or Solana or a, a plethora of other options, I think that they just wanted to go to a chain that was on the up and up, if
Mhm.
I'm being honest.
Is there is there any sort of, this is kind of a weird question, but like, is there any, how do I even want to phrase this? Like so rare cards are basically like, or have been like Ethereum NFTs, and now they're going to be Solana NFTs. And do you think that changes the opinion of people who are not part of Sorare now, but are into NFTs and crypto? Like, is there any sort of stigma is not the right word, but like, is there an advantage to being a Solana NFT versus an Ethereum NFT, or does it not actually matter?
I think we're past the point in crypto, I guess, where like there's a war between chains for NFTs. I think everyone during the big up and downs of NFTs have towards the downs have realized like, oh, we gotta be in this together. So I don't think we should stigmatize a certain NFT group just because they're on a different chain.
Mhm.
Like the likes of OpenSea are taking who's like the biggest NFT marketplace in the world. They're allowing Solana payments. They're adding so many chains that you could buy directly from their marketplace. So I think that the crypto world is really just looking for, I'm going to butcher this word, interoperability, I think it is. So it's just like you could have multiple chains, you could have multiple coins, and you could all buy them in one place.
Mhm.
And that's what Sorare is doing with our different payment options, whether it's Solana, Ethereum, USD, Euro, and USDC, if that ends up coming. So I don't think so. I don't think that we're really fragmenting like the possible users out there by choosing Solana. I think that if anything, people are just happy that an NFT project or a sports collectible project like this is still cares about like moving to the best chains and still has their core or their heart set on like crypto. So we're not really trying to leave our pillar or core pillars behind, and we're trying to expand on it, which is good, I think.
Durable with a question here, but basically the question is, if Solana would disappear, would that risk people's NFTs, or would we come back to ETH-based NFTs? I don't think that Solana disappearing is a is a risk.
Yeah, I if I had to guess, I would guess that there's going to be a Solana ETF in the next like month and a half or something like that when the government opens back up. So that basically takes out the possibility of Solana disappearing if the government has to, or if people have to buy it
Mhm.
and whatnot. So I think we shouldn't worry about that. I think that this chain is time and time again has proven that it will stand the test of time. And I think that we're not like really moving to like a very small mom and pop chain. This is like a very big industrial titan that has runway, that has tons of people working for them, and that we shouldn't worry about disappearing.
So there was a question a little bit before, and we're going to get to the little phrase that everybody was sending to me earlier. But Sorare Johnson, can you elaborate on the possibility of a Sorare token in the future? Is the end goal to have that as the fiat reward, or to implement it with a similar to utility as Sorare coins? So what do
I'm
we?
too zoomed in, but I'm shrugging right now. Like I do not have anything to say about like the utility of the tokens or anything like that because it is not, we don't know right
Yeah.
now. So it's like uh if there is going to be a token, we don't really know. That's why we said there's the possibility. We want to keep the door open. We don't want to close any doors on ourselves at all. We just want people to know that we're exploring all opportunities, and if something presents itself that we think will impact the game and impact our users in a good way, then we're going to follow that path, and we're going to make sure that we do our best with it. So I don't have too much to say on like the utility of it or if it replaces anything like that. Obviously, in my mind, I have ideas, and I could sit here for hours talking about it, but I don't know if the team would like me to share all of these ideas that I have in my head. But yeah, we don't really have much like news per se on it. We just
Mhm.
wanted to include it to let people know that we are thinking about all opportunities ahead of us. And I know people would surmise that if we are moving to Solana, which is like a big meme coin chain and has been for the past like 6 months to a year and a half, that they must be dropping a coin. Like we wanted to get ahead of that and just be like, oh, it's like we are aware that that is associated with Solana. and we want to keep chain or a coin. Sorry, not a chain.
Right. Like, I feel like that's sort of the answer of if in the future you guys decide, yes, we do want to do a Sorare coin, already being associated and working with Solana makes that significantly easier.
Yeah,
That's all.
definitely. And their partnerships team and their engineers would be very helpful in helping us out with that. They'll put us in touch with people that have executed these like good airdrops, I guess per se, and or TGs, and we would figure out how to do it to the best of our abilities. We have a very good engineering team, very good crypto heads. So if we were to do something like that, we would make sure it's like a.
Sorry, I think you lost John quickly. Maybe
To do it, what we want to kind of base it off of. Sorry, am I lagging again?
just a little bit,
A little
in
bit.
and out.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna shut my video off real quick. Sorry.
There's another question
Sorry
here.
about that. Let's see if it works again. No, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Javier said, can stable coins help bridge the gap between the crypto wallets and the cash only users? I guess the divide will remain for the time being. So I guess, yeah. USDC obviously like linked to the US dollar, but still not technically cash. So yeah, do you foresee that the addition or the move to Solana will eventually allow us to pay, like you kind of mentioned, like there might be other cryptocurrencies, like maybe even Bitcoin one day. It feels like if Bitcoin is a one-day possibility, USDC surely has to be also, right?
Yeah, and we even mentioned stable coins in the actual blog as well. Like we are aware that people would probably like to use that. And we would too. I don't know if it bridges the gap though, because you kind of still have to use like a exchange for
Yeah.
USDC. It's not like you could just swap it for USD like easily. But maybe it takes like the volatility out, which some people might not like of crypto, whether it's buying Solana, Ethereum, whatever it may be. So yeah, maybe it does bridge the gap, and it's a little more user friendly for new crypto.
Yeah. I think USDC is almost like the bridge for people who are not comfortable with crypto to get into it. Like they're using crypto without really realizing it. And obviously
Yeah,
there's no extreme volatility with USDC versus the US dollar.
that would be very bad if
That would be
that
very,
was the
very bad.
case. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
um,
That
let's have you
would
guys,
be very bad.
yeah, have you guys talked about sort of, or let me change that for a second. Have you guys been contacted by other people who want to build games based off of Sorare cards, and now like being able to do it through Solana, or this move to Solana makes that easier? Like I feel like we had Sorare Mega and
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sorare
yeah.
Mega. I know Sorare Mega has worked with us. Not as much, honestly. Obviously, we have people would come to us trying to build whether it's data sites like Solar MBA Jet or optimizers like um, oh man, I forgot what Billy's optimizer is. Sorry, man. But yeah, we have people come to us all the time. I just think that this opens the door even further for people if they have an idea that they could try to follow it and they could try to see what comes of it. Because I think that's what we want is expand obviously utility for our so rare cards. And if that comes from our own community, that is the cherry on top and would
Mhm.
be wonderful. So not too many new games per se, but we have people come to us with products ideas all the time, and I think that won't change. If anything, this will just amplify that.
There's a question earlier that I missed. Robert said, how much will the API change in authorizations with offers auctions on the API? Which I would imagine not much, if anything, right?
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like that's not my cup of tea. Um, I think that over the next couple weeks, you'll see the API changing because now they don't have to hide things. We were obviously working on this migration previously, but we had to do it in secrecy, so it's all behind. non-obvious things. Like it's not going to be like Solana or something. But now that the cat's out of the bag, we have the ability to work on the API in public, and I think it will end up changing a little bit, but I just don't know to what extent that will look like. But I wouldn't be worried if it does change. We have an army of engineers that are willing to work with people that use our API every single day and give them the right information. So if anything does changes and it impacts you in any way, please reach out to our help center or me, and we'll put you in touch with the right people.
The going back to the so Sorare is not going to become an exchange.
That's out of my pay range, honestly. That's above my pay grade. I think that's like a decision for Nico and the board to come up with, because that kind of does change the entire trajectory of the company. It's no longer just a game at this point. We're literally an exchange, and with that comes crazy regulation from the government and making sure that we cross our T's, dot our I's at all aspects every turn. So, I mean, it's a lot of thought has to go into that. And I don't think I will be in that room when the thought does go into it. But I wouldn't put it past them to have it on their radar.
Do you think the move to Solana affects licensing at all? I don't know if it's less like with the current licenses, which I assume the answer is no, but like, do you think it actually opens up more possibilities from a licensing perspective?
That's a good question, actually. I was thinking like old licenses. For the old one, no. Like obviously we want to clear it with all of our IP partners that we have, and obviously we wouldn't have done it if they said no. I don't really know if it like opens up doors for us in the future. I'm trying to think like what IP we like Solana opens us up to. Obviously there's like the only thing that comes to my head right away is like communities on Solana and they're an IP, but I don't know if like we want to do that. So I don't really have a good answer for that right now. I would say maybe, maybe,
Yeah.
but for our current IP, it doesn't impact us in a negative way at all.
Do you think I can't believe I'm asking this question because I feel like I've made fun of people for so long about asking stuff like this. Do you think this move kind of opens up the possibility of like some kind of partnership with another company that works with Solana that would like sponsor a tournament or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily see why not. I think if we are aligned with um, like what we are trying to accomplish, then yes. I do think like I keep going back to Phantom. I could see like a Phantom deposit promo or something like that. I don't know about competition because we've never really like leaned into the sponsored competition
Yeah.
aspect. I think I don't know if it's like because we don't want to or it's just we were hesitant to do it previously, but it does open up the doors for us because a lot of businesses are on Solana and Onchain, so we have the possibility to do that. And I would not say it's off. It's like not possible.
So you said we're going to
Those are
start.
some good questions so far, though. Sorry, I might be lagging a little bit.
No worries, no worries. So starting early October, which I would argue October 8th is already pretty early, but basically by the end of the
Yeah.
month, all of the NFTs will be shifted over to Solana. What's the time frame there in terms of being able to pay for cards with Solana? Is it right then, or are we going to be waiting a couple months for wallets to kind of like be able to be updated and pay with now a third form of currency?
No, it won't be months. It'll be pretty quick,
Okay.
actually. So if I remember correctly, once we have the actual NFTs, computer might be really going crazy right now. Sorry.
I don't think we heard any of the answer. So if you could
Oh
just get it
no.
over.
Yeah, that's not good. My like force quit thing just came up, which is never a good
I can still hear
never
you pretty clearly.
okay, good. Oh man. I think what will happen This is not good. My computer is melting right now. What will happen is once we transition all of the NFTs over to Solana, the payments rails will pretty much open same day.
Oh, wow.
And there shouldn't be a big delay at all. So if you want to use Solana, once they're on the blockchain, go for it. I think you should be ready and good to do it.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay. And in terms of like deposit and withdrawal fees, is the expectation that using Solana will be much cheaper than what we've been using with Ethereum
Yeah.
and Starknet?
So like when you use MetaMask to onboard cash onto Sorare, you're paying a fee from their side on the Ethereum side. So when you do use Solana, it will be cheaper because you're paying because you're paying a gas fee that is just generally cheaper. But it's not going to be like I don't think that the MetaMask fees were really a lot either because
Mhm.
StarkNet does a good job of keeping the fees down as well for transactions. I think like that there will be a small difference, but it's not going to be like, oh wow, this is
Yeah,
insane.
that makes sense. And then another question here says, since the fees of trading are significantly less, could this switch to Solana, opening up the possibilities of selling cards or doing transactions more than 10 cards at a time?
So like bulk transactions, yeah, that's a good question. I feel like this is less of an issue with our blockchain and more like a product question.
Okay.
And like,
Yep.
does our product team want us to be able to do that? Do they see any negatives in that possibility? I'm sure they.
Nope. Oh, we just lost John. Let me just tell him. Yeah, I think what John was saying, if you guys didn't hear that, was basically that it's more of a product decision than a blockchain, partner decision. And so theoretically, I guess the way that it was described earlier, if it's easier to move cards off of Sorare into some other type of wallet, maybe you'd be able to do a transaction of 100 plus cards, not necessarily on Sorare, but through another wallet or through another wallet, and then do the transactions there. I don't know. It seems like the fees of moving all of those cards. Oh, here we go.
Sorry about that.
No
I've
worries.
reset my Google Chrome. We're good to go now.
What I was trying to think was like what you were saying, that it's more of like a product decision not to have transactions of more than 10 cards or whatever. But theoretically, this move to Solana, if we wanted to sell 100 cards at once, we could put all of those cards in a separate wallet and sell it that way instead of 10 at a time on Sorare. But I'm not sure. I mean, I assume the fees are low for that, but probably not worth the time and effort.
Yeah, like yes, like you could offboard them and just sell them in bulk that way, 100%. I would never like put them on a wallet and then give someone access to that wallet, and that's like the way of doing the transaction. You'd have to trust them like really, really like
Yeah.
like a brother at that point. But yeah, like if you wanted to do a mass transaction, I don't see a reason why you couldn't do that.
Yeah. One of those that like you could do it, but that doesn't mean it's
Yeah, you
legally
should do it. Yeah.
I think I'm trying to scroll through, but I think we got through. I think the only questions that I didn't necessarily touch on were just kind of oh, this is interesting. Would love to be able to complete a vault sale. There we go.
That's a good idea. Just buy someone's maxed out vault.
Right.
It's a good idea.
But yeah, I think like there were a couple questions that popped up that was essentially just like, why focus on crypto people now after spending the last 2 years kind of going all in on fiat? And I feel like you kind of touched on it before, that a big part of the move to fiat was just that there was a fairly negative reaction to crypto and to NFTs. And even though that's like so rare at its foundation, being able to offer a fiat option obviously helped the the platform grow, but at its core, it's a crypto project. Like,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
it is 100%. Our core is we're crypto natives. Like all of the employees that were first onboarded are all like crypto heads, and they talk the talk and walk the walk and are able to code, unlike me. Um, I think I just don't want you guys to think that we're like done marketing to the mass public just
Sure.
because we're going to Solana and focusing on crypto natives. These are two separate initiatives if you want to think it like that. Like, okay, so we're going to Solana, we're focusing on crypto natives on Solana. We also have tons of other marketing campaigns planned and in the works. I know back to school just happened and they just went crazy in France with their new marketing campaign. So I don't want you guys to think like, oh, we're not going to look for the public anymore. We're going only for crypto natives. That's not true at all. It's just like I said, I think like the core of this is like we're opening doors and we want to be able to keep them open and have every possibility at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I would look at it like.
I think you summarized it pretty well in the blog that just said, if you're not deeply into the crypto side of things, you won't notice much change. And if you are interested in the crypto ecosystem, this unlocks like a number of new possibilities for us. I say us as if I'm on that side and not the first one. But yeah, I mean, I think from a day-to-day standpoint, for most people, yeah, nothing really changes. And whether it's being able to do something with your cards offsite or pay with a different cryptocurrency or create a brand new third-party site that allows you to play with these cards, like the possibilities are out there, but that doesn't mean really most of the users are even going to take advantage of it. But for those who do, it's a really nice opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. That was very well said. Um, I If you're worried at all and you're like, I don't know what any of this means, I just would put the worries to rest. You don't need to know what any of it means, honestly, if you're not interested in it. And if you want to get interested in crypto now, like this is a good opportunity to dip your toe into it a little bit. You're getting exposure to a brand new chain that's one of the most popular chains in the world. And I think that you shouldn't worry, essentially, is the crux of it.
Yeah, I think this is kind of not the right way to look at it. So Rikamon said, wasn't the move towards cash and move away from the whole crypto thing? It seems odd, like a return to crypto. I don't think we're necessarily like before the cash wallet was introduced. This was like exclusively crypto, and
Yep.
the cash wallet opened up that we could do both. And now this is not. We're not getting rid of the cash wallet. We're just going back to the people who we're interested on the crypto side. And like you said, there's plenty of marketing for the game as a whole. And that applies to people who play either in fiat or in crypto. So there's no going back. It's just kind of like acknowledging that, that people who are interested in crypto, who may not be familiar with Sorare, now have like another path to becoming familiar with it.
Exactly. And I think like our game will always be crypto. It's like crypto adjacent at least. Like our it's built upon like rails that are crypto oriented, and like we will never probably get rid of that. I
Yeah.
can't even see how that would happen if we did it. So we're always gonna be like leaning into the crypto side of things. It's not like we were ever trying to get rid of crypto when we moved towards fiat. We were just making it the back end. And now that it's less taboo to say the least, and the public's idea of crypto has changed dramatically, I think like um, why not like market it a little bit more than we have in the past? And I think it's it's the we're keeping up with the times and we're keeping up with what people think of crypto as a whole. And I think this is what we've came to the conclusion is the right idea.
I think what's kind of funny to me, and it took me a while to understand what it really meant, but for people who really like the idea or this concept of we can buy our cards, we can sell our cards, we can trade our cards, all of that, and the transparency that comes with that comes because of the blockchain, and you can't have a blockchain without crypto. And I feel like there are people who are like, no, I get the blockchain stuff. Like we want the transparency, see what everything, but I don't want the crypto. And it's like, they're not mutually exclusive. Like they are completely intertwined. And so if we want a game where you can buy and sell your cards or trade them, you have to have crypto. It has to be a part of it.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, we just like crypto. Like it's like if I'm being honest, like we are fans of crypto. So it's not a I think it'll always be there, and it's not like it's our main focus by any means, but it's going to be a focus of ours, and we're going to explore all avenues that we can under the crypto umbrella. And I think like it's not limiting, like I said, our marketing on the real world or to sports fans or fantasy fans across the globe. It just is another form of marketing and another strategy.
Mm-hmm. And last question, and I know the answer. Well, I know the answer, but I'll let you answer it. But obviously, this applies to all of Sorare, not just Sorare football or Sorare MLB or Sorare NBA. Like everything is moving to Solana.
Yep, we're not fragmenting our products. That would be like a disaster to try to maintain. I wouldn't even understand how, well, I don't understand how they do it to begin with, but like I couldn't even understand even more at that point if we were to do that. But yeah, all of our games or all of our sports are moving to Solana. There's again nothing to worry about. If you don't know what that means or you're worried about what that means, it means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It means that your gameplay stays the same, your cards stay the same. They're just on a different blockchain. You don't have to do anything. But if you're a crypto native, it opens up, like you said, tons of doors and tons of avenues that you can explore and see what piques your interest.
I don't know if I said that was the last one, but I want to add this as well. Nicola has actually mentioned a few times about like you guys are working towards a possibility of some sort of unified wallet, which I think really just means being able to buy a card with like some cash and some crypto. I don't expect a move to Solana to be like, oh, now we can do that. But do you know if there's like any movement on that at all?
It's like not on the Solana roadmap right now,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean it's not on the product roadmap.
Yeah.
I'm just like more privy to the Solana roadmap right now because I helped work on it. But I know that is a constant like thought that we have or a constant work stream that we work on. So I don't know if it's necessarily we move to Solana for that, but I'm sure it does help, and I'm sure it's on top of mind.
All right, I'll make this the last one. So basically, if you play cash only, you buy cards with cash, you win cash, you can still do that even with this change.
Yep, you win cash, you still get cash. You pay in cash, you still pay in cash. No difference at all. Onboarding money is the same exact thing. This does not impact onboarding cash and depositing cash in any capacity at all. It honestly doesn't impact onboarding Ethereum at all either. Obviously, it goes to a different chain now, but it doesn't, like from your point of view or from a user's point of view, it wouldn't impact them pretty much at all.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry. Like I said, if you have worries that are coming to your mind, I like really think our engineering team thought of them and that they will be ahead of them and that there's nothing to worry about as a whole. And if there is like a little issue, it'll be fixed very swiftly. So
sure.
I wouldn't worry, like I said.
Cool. I think that's all the questions that we had, at least coming in here. If anyone has any additional questions, like I said, there's a blog that John wrote. It's linked in the description here. There's also a link in there with some FAQs. If those don't cover it, leave a comment in this video. We'll make sure that we monitor it just for any questions, and obviously try to get those answered as quickly as possible. So, John, really appreciate all your time with this.
Of course.
I'm sure you seem very excited about all of this as a Solana guy. And so
I am.
Yeah, it seemed like the perfect person to have on. So good luck with the continued NBA launch as well. I know those cards are now available. So everybody go check those out. And was that a Jalen Brunson?
Yeah, I see the threes in the back. Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's go Knicks. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks everyone for coming. Again, any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll check them out. Thank you for coming. Please make sure you get outside.